The sweetest supervillain in the DC Comics universe, the fourth love of my life, Harley Quinn, will now have her own diabolical ride inside the Gotham City area at Six Flags Over Texas in Arlington.
So we're at the DFW Adventure Park, and I'm here with Miles Keller, who just represented the DFW on Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge. So he set up a mini challenge for me today. My first stop was at Whataburger. Of course, we're in Texas. How could I not take an IndyCar through the drive-thru of Whataburger?
Thank you for choosing Whataburger. Order whenever you're ready.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing fine too. What can I get you?
First, I needed to start from the beginning. And by beginning, that meant going back to driving school before they let me get behind the wheel. Excuse my voice. I just spent the past weekend trying to scream over the thunder of a 700 horsepower engine.
Since the island has become accessible, on September 23rd, AmeriFlight sent 2 relief efforts and another on September 26th, totaling 6,700 pounds of items that Puerto Ricans desperately need. At this point, it's been more than a year since former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick took a knee in protest of police brutality. To look at how these monuments fit into New Orleans history and to consider if they inspire us or if they represent something else. Fighting blight has been one of Mayor Mitch Landrieu's top priorities since coming into office. Someone who's been a victim of a crime, when they look at all of this information that's out there that's for guns and against guns, I'm gonna announce the final 12 finalists in order, beginning with the startup that received the most votes. And Jennifer, she'll tell you a little bit about each company and the people who run it. So let's cut the suspense and let's take it from the top. So here at the School of Medicine, we're really big on creating empathetic scholars, right? We want all of our students to be doctors who can communicate. How important is communication in the surgery side of transitioning? Anything you can do in your daily driver car, you know. I can do it in the Indy car. So the IndyCar racing experience is in Fort Worth this week ahead of the Verizon Indy Race Series, right? That's gonna take place at the Texas Motor Speedway this upcoming weekend. So they offered me the opportunity to get chauffeured around in a real Indy car. And of course I was like, do I want to get chauffeured around or driven around in the Indy car? Yeah.
He's good, he's workers' comp anyway, so.
So the first obvious con to riding around in the Indy car is that it is tiny, compact. It's like an egg, a very small egg, and you have to squeeze everything to get in, and then your knees are hitting up against steel as you ride. It's terrible, terrible. Most uncomfortable ride you'll ever have in a motor vehicle in your life. But you look cool though. My first stop was at Whataburger. Of course, we're in Texas. How could I not take an IndyCar through the drive-thru of Whataburger?
Thank you for choosing Whataburger. Order whenever you're ready.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing fine too. What can I get you?
Can I get a patty melt?
It's the most Texan thing I've ever seen. I just finished studying abroad in Rome, and this is the first time I had a Whataburger since I've been back, and this is the exact way that I wanted to see it.
Not only did I take the car through the drive-thru at Whataburger, I also enjoyed a patty melt inside the Indy car. How about that? You can't one-up me on this, bro. I felt amazing. I felt like a celebrity. I mean, I was Drake. I was Brad Pitt. I was the Black Panther. I was all of that because of the car. The car made everybody love me. You like my whip? Yeah. Like, you know, everybody loved me. Everybody loved me. Yeah, I was a celebrity for a day. So what else would I normally do, right? I would normally maybe get some groceries on my day off, running errands or something like that. So we stopped at Kroger.
How much?
It was amazing. The people inside the store were like whispering. The cashiers was like, look at everybody outside, look at that car outside. They're like, can I stop and go look at the car? People just came to the back of the parking lot and circled around the car. Then after that, we did the normal thing, right? If I was in my daily driver, I'd have to get gas, get to Quick Trip, then I find out from Liam, my driver, that the car actually takes regular unleaded gas. How cool is that? You pull up in the coolest car in the world and it takes regular gas. You can't beat that.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. That's why I got the driver.
Following that, I said, why not go to one of the most well-known places in Fort Worth? We took the Indy car through the stockyards. I met people from Australia. I met people from Detroit, people who were just in town visiting. They wanted to check out the car. The kids wanted to get in the car. The kids wanted to put the helmets on, take pictures in the car. I felt like a superstar, but I also felt like I was just doing a cool thing for people, giving people access to something that they only see on TV. I mean, that was just amazing in itself, to be able to share my experience with everyday people in Fort Worth. As I cruised around the city and talked to them about the car, people gave me the thumbs up on the highway. People were taking pictures, dancing like, yeah, you're in the race car, you're in the race car. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the race car, I'm in the race car. It was a pretty surreal thing to see something like a car bring that much joy to people who appreciate cars and who appreciate the entire racing experience. Texas-sized help headed to our fellow American citizens more than 2,100 miles away.
You can hear in their desperation when we talk to our employees how they're running low on water, they're running low on food.
AmeriFlight CEO Brian Randall was up before the sun on Tuesday morning watching over the loading of a cargo plane bound for San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was filled with supplies for their 37 employees living on the island.
They're a valued part of our company, and that we just need to take care of our people.
Prior to Hurricane Maria's Category 5 rain and winds ravaging the island, the company would send about 50 flights there each week. They even offered to charter flights and evacuate all of their employees and their families before the storm made landfall. Randall said only 2 pilots took them up on the offer.
The others from the island, been through storms before, felt they could weather it out.
Weeks later, reports from Puerto Rico's governor's office said that 95% of the island is still without power and less than half of the residents have access to water that's safe to drink.
Our base in Barranquin, which is on the opposite side of the island, really all kind of an isolated base, they say it's no better today than it was the day after the storm.
Since the island has become accessible, on September 23rd, AmeriFlight sent 2 relief efforts and another on September 26th, totaling 6,700 pounds of items that Puerto Ricans desperately need, like food, water, batteries, flashlights, and toiletries.
The call yesterday, they stressed that they really could use batteries. They're running out of AAA and D batteries, which they're using for light at night.
The company has also set up a GoFundMe account online that's raised more than $15,000 since launching on September 25th. When he arrives in San Juan, Randall plans to give that money directly to his employees.
It's a cash-based society right now because ATM machines aren't up and running because there's no electricity. We talked to one of our people that said he can go to Burger King and get dinner, but it's cash only because they can't connect to the internet to swipe a credit card.
Obstacles like those in the island's recovery have drawn sharp criticism of President Donald Trump and the American government's response in providing aid to Puerto Rico. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will be in Puerto Rico on Tuesday for about 5.5 hours touring the island. But regardless of what the government's next move is going to be, Randall is focused on doing what he can for his employees.
We have a unique situation where we own airplanes and they're cargo airplanes, and we can do this.